What is going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 of Seth Manfield's Sultai Control list. As I mentioned in the first video, really excited to try this one out, but this is a 1-for-1 list minus the sideboard, and I would recommend already, just based on video 1, maybe tooling out things just slightly different if you're sticking with the best of one ladder. I think you get a little bit more variety on the best of one ladder because people kind of try different stuff, which is not bad by any means, but it certainly means that we've got a different field to play to. And that's important to remember. All that to say, though, I really do like this list. Sultai Control, obviously a really powerful deck. We've known that for quite some time. And so it's nice to be able to try it out in this meta and just kind of see how things go. Chances are it looks like we are against Jund Sacrifice, which is definitely a tough match, just in general. Jund Sacrifice is a very, very strong contender. And was very highly rated in that top 8 as well in the Mythic Invitational, which is where this was pulled from. So excited to see how this goes. Just want to mention as well, before we get too far into this, our Zendikar Rising giveaway is still going on. If you would like to enter, subscribe to the channel, comment. It doesn't matter which video, but comment on any video with hashtag Zendikar. And if you do that, you are entered to win. We will, of course, do the best we can to make sure that we respond to you. I know I've been a bit slack in that regard, so I apologize. But we will get that out and make sure that you guys all understand you are entered and ready to win. The winner will be picked on the 28th, I believe, which is 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks away. So you've still got some time, but just make sure that you enter if you are not already, so you can hopefully win some awesome stuff. This is interesting place to be. We're kind of not tooled out here, but we got an interesting little play pattern here. So we could have growth spiraled, and then depending on what they did, had Aether Gust up, or we could have just Aether Gusted, which would have been safe. Obviously, we didn't get the opportunity, and that's fine. Maelstrom Pulse, that's pretty good. That is less good. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot here. Trying to think what the best opportunity play is. We could Hydroid Krasis for 1. That doesn't seem great, especially just given that they have a Gilded Goose, which is kind of stupid, but it just free blocks. So I think we pass. Unfortunately, we're kind of just a little mana screwed here. In a deck with 28 lands, you wouldn't normally expect that, but it does happen. So we have to be cautious. And this is really the key piece with this new Jund Sacrifice deck. This Phyrexian Tower allows you to do quite a lot very, very quickly, and it's just hugely, hugely strong. So very, very awesome. Sure. And unfortunately, they're going to run away with this game if we don't get a land. And really, even if we do get a land, we're going to be in a tight spot here. So what is the best thing to do? We can Aether Gust on this just to put it on either the top or the bottom. Doesn't seem great, but it is an option just to kind of tempo them. But oh, guys, this feels terrible. Well, let's do this. I'm wondering if we peg the Blood Artist or the Woe Strider. I think it's the Woe Strider. This just gives them too many sacrifice opportunities. They'll probably take a couple here, and that's fine. But we do need to get rid of that Woe Strider. It also represents a little bit more damage per turn in tandem with the Blood Artist, but the Blood Artist is not quite as potent. Both of them are all... obviously, we need to kill everything, but unfortunately we can't. All right. A little surprised they didn't sack in response just to scry. I suppose they're just looking to sacrifice this for some extra mana, which would make a lot of sense. But I think here we're pretty dead in the water. Little surprising that we're not drawing lands, though, especially given that 28 land count. That's almost 50% of our deck. Very near, but that's okay. It happens. No big deal. We move forward. Sure. All right. You got it. And that's, like I said, that Phyrexian Tower, being able to produce 2 mana by sacking a creature is just very, very strong. Oh my goodness, and look at this. All right, I am not going to waste the time too much here. we, given that this is a tapped land, we are way behind, especially given their board, and so I'm gonna go ahead and concede there. Normally, I am of the kind of Reed Duke mentality, which is to make them win, but understanding that, you know, it's not a very interesting game to watch if all we're doing is waiting to see if we can get a land and then maybe play a thing. But if you looked at that board state, so for instance, we could have played out a Hydroid Krasis for 1. Not very good, but they have Priest, which means that all they have to do is sack a couple things, make us sack the Hydroid Krasis, and then we're in terrible shape. And even then, it's probably not even like a worthwhile play on their end because all they're doing is killing a 1/1. This, by contrast, seems like a great start. Got quite a number of things that we can do here. Huh. What do we want to take? All of these cards are terrible for us. I don't like Light Up the Stage, but Skewer the Critics represents quite a bit of damage here. I'm going to take Light Up the Stage, though. That might be incorrect because we're leaving them with 6 points of burn, which is a lot. But I think that we'll see how it goes here. I'm going to go ahead and play this Zagoth Triome. Not going to try and shock myself too many times here. Just given the deck that we are up against, I don't think it's worth it to. And now, of course, we've got both Eliminate as well as Aether Gust up. So we can slow them down, potentially through this. I'm going to kind of make their turn a lot worse here. So by doing this, not only do we save our life total for another turn, which, you know, is whatever, but it also means they can't skewer in the same turn, which is very crucial. Let's do this. Gain a little bit of life. Sure, we'll do that. And we'll just play this out. There was a world in that interaction where we could have shocked ourselves to leave up Eliminate, but we would have had to take 4 damage essentially to do that, and I don't think it's worth it. Given that they had mostly burn in their hand, especially, I didn't see that as the reason, or as a good reason to do that. That is very helpful, so let's get this going. Let's do this. This just gives us Eliminate as an option. Which is why I wanted to make sure that we had a black and green source here. Yep, that is very, very good and difficult for us to deal with. Dealing 5, yeah. Not going to block it. There's not a huge reason to block it, I don't believe, so not worth it there. A second Nissa. That's definitely interesting. Let's gain a little bit of life here. Let's get another card in the graveyard as well. I kind of want them to kill Nissa in a really weird turn of events. That would actually not be the worst thing in the world for us, only because then we get another card in the graveyard. Ooh, Disdainful Stroke is not bad. Let's hit for 6. And yeah, we're going to pass. So here we can just Disdainful Stroke the Ox if they decide to play it, which doesn't seem like a bad idea here, because then we follow that up with a Nissa. Sure. That's fine. So they do kill Nissa, again, fueling our graveyard for a bigger Uro, which is great, because that obviously deals with this Hazoret, or at least stops this Hazoret from dealing quite as much damage. They did not play the Ox, and they didn't attack. Both worth noting. Okay, well, should we go for Uro or should we go for Nissa? Both of which are very good. I'm gonna go for the Nissa play here. I'm gonna untap the Breeding Pool, or no. Yeah, let's untap the Breeding Pool. This is going to leave up the counter. We could leave up the Zagoth Triome. I don't love that plan, only because it does leave up the most options, but it also makes it... it's probably a better play. I'm thinking in terms of that's like just a huge target then, but that's okay. No blocks. and that's fine. We actually just get to do this, counter it. So now we can just win this turn. Yep, there we go. Fantastic. I'm glad we did what we did. We definitely could have untapped the Zagoth Triome instead, but that was, at that point, a bit of a semantic. It would have left us up with Eliminate, but chances are they weren't going to just play a little, you know, tiny creature by any means. All right. Well, that makes us 2 and 3. So we're playing for a tied score here. Unfortunately, didn't do so well with this overall, but still pretty happy with the list. Again, I think just a little bit more tuning. Given that we're in the best of one ladder, I think swapping out some of these Aether Gusts with a couple sweepers might be a better choice, because currently we do only have 3 sweepers, which we've got one here, which is kind of nice. Do we keep? I think we keep this, yeah. Yep. Okay, let's... Let's do this, and we're going to pass. I'm going to get a black source here. That's going to allow us to have our second black source in hand for this Languish, which obviously is going to be really important. Ooh, less important now, potentially. That's very good. So really now we need a... Wow, sure. Aether Gust is going to be great. That deals so much damage so quickly. Thankfully, this Aether Gust is hopefully going to do wonders here. So we get to pass with Aether Gust up. Hopefully let them just kind of start powering up this little guy a little bit. Sure. Whew, that is very good. We'll do this. We're going to get that out of there. Nice little 2-for-1 there, kind of 1.5 for 1. We really just need to survive for this Languish now. Uro does help us get there, which is great. But that's bad. That's very, very bad. Okay, so this actually nets us 1, so we're going to do this. We have the guaranteed land in hand, so I'm going to throw this out. And then this means next turn we can just Languish whatever they have, which is at least better than what we were doing. So we kind of just have to hope we can get there with that, but sure. So they're going to be down to like 2 cards in hand, and we have swept. Yep. It's the best thing we can do. We just have to hope they don't have a haster or just like a lightning strike would kill us. Okay, that's good. We can do this for 3 just to give ourselves a little bit more room. And I kind of like that idea. This just gives us a little bit more life. It's not amazing, I know, but it gets us out of lightning strike zone. And just means that we have a nice little blocker if need be. And they gave up. That was really quick. I mean, we certainly dealt with what they were doing there, but I didn't think they needed to give up that quickly. But that's okay. We ended the record with a 3 and 3. I'm pretty happy with that, considering the tooling out of this deck. I do think it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's obviously built for a match, you know, tournament style play. So we're taking a deck out of its element, trying it in a different element that doesn't necessarily focus on what it was built for. So we knew that going in, and I think that shows. I think the Aether Gust moving out, bringing in maybe a couple extra sweepers just to give us that little hint, literally like a swap 2 Aether Gusts. That would probably be it for me, but that would do a lot. I think that would really, really make this a much better best of 1 deck, instead of obviously a really phenomenal best of 3 match, which is where this won. So overall, really love the deck. Seth Manfield, of course, is a phenomenal player, so congratulations to him in the Mythic Invitational. Happy to play this deck and try it out here. It was really, really fun. I do appreciate all of you guys watching. Please make sure to enter that Zendikar Rising giveaway. We've got tons of people already entered. It's great to see such an awesome turnout. We're excited to have you guys here in our little community. It's great to see you, and I hope you're enjoying the content. Please also make sure to stay tuned for JDC information. Season 3 is coming next week. We will have a little bit of an informational video coming out tomorrow, so really excited about that one, but do stay tuned for that. The first live stream is going to be on Monday the 21st, less than a week away, with all of our awesome participants, and it's going to be a month-long tournament. It is going to be super, super fun, so do stay tuned for that. Really appreciate the support, everybody. It really means a lot, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another video.